urban farmers would like to have some fruit to go with everything else and also to fit into our landscaping. And Matt Kursky at Gardens of Babylon has some great suggestions for us.
Absolutely. Starting with some of the easier berry plants to keep in mind. Two of my favorite as far as easy berries, blackberries and raspberries. You got a blackberry here and a raspberry right here. Blackberries are just great. Have at least 6 to 8 hours worth of sun in your yard. Full sun is great too. Leave some space for them. These can get up easily to the 6 to 7 foot range. With blackberries and raspberries, biggest things to consider is just working good organic matter into the soil, leaf mulch, compost, manure, that kind of thing. They're not so picky in the world of pH. You don't have to worry about raising and lowering your pH with blackberries and raspberries, but just good organic matter. Last little note on blackberries, there's a lot of, everybody's so used to big thorny blackberry brambles. Well, they're making a lot of blackberries nowadays that are all thornless, like this guy here. Triple Crown, Apache, Chester, these are all thornless varieties of blackberries, much easier on the hands when you're picking them. Going on over to the world of blueberries, kind of the same thing. You want to stick with varieties that are in the rabbit eye. Southern rabbit eye are great for the southeast heat and humidity. They do really well, get up 4 to 6 feet, no problem. Good organic matter, just like the blackberries and raspberries, but you do want to be lowering your pH when you do blueberries, either with things like using straight peat moss, using a lot of coffee grounds. A lot of farmers I talk to in the area are just big proponents of just using sulfur, pelletized sulfur per directions, because you can overdo it with this stuff around your blueberry plants. Blueberries just like a good pH between 4.5 and 5.5 in the soil, and then they're off to a great start.
All right, well, so we've got some great plants with some pretty flowers on them at different times of the year, especially in the spring. We've got some nice privacy fence possibilities.
That's right. Some
bushes, and then one of my favorite bushes.
The old fig tree, or fig bush, I guess, either way. You can grow figs in Nashville, Tennessee. The 3 varieties that I like to try to suggest to customers, like this one, this is a Chicago Hardy. There's also a brown turkey, and there's also a Celeste fig. Those are all rated to about zone 7, best time to get figs in the ground, early springtime, early summer. You want these things to grow really hard, very fast growers throughout the summertime, and get their roots really well established for the coming winter. Figs are great to be planted up along south walls, southeast, southwest facing walls. They like the little bit of protection and the heat radiating off of them in the wintertime. Or if you just have to do a fig out in the middle of an open area, just take some livestock fencing or some chicken fencing, make a big cage around it, prune them back about 30 to 40%. They love to be pruned, and then just dump all your leaf, grass clippings, wheat straw, whatever you got to keep those stems warm. You'll have to do that for the first couple years until they build up a good tolerance to the cold winter.
Fantastic. And now for that trellis that we really want to put up in the middle of the yard somewhere. We've got grapes. Do you have an easy one? Yeah, I have a couple varieties that I really like to stick with, because again, we're in the southeast. We're not in the northeast. We're not in Maine or New Hampshire for a lot of the Concord growers. We got the Champanelles, we got black Spanish grapes, and we also have muscadines. This right here is a Champanelle grape. The heat and humidity does not bother it whatsoever. You can already see we already got grapes forming on this particular one. And again, like you said, with trellises, 4 to 6 feet tall, or you can run them sideways, horizontal lines for the grapes to grow on, kind of like you see in a lot of vineyard styles, but great for fences and trellises. They'll just take over. Raspberries, I'd say, in the only other group, you might want to consider doing some posts with some 2 types of horizontal trellising going across, just to kind of help it growing up, that has something to attach to. And then as far as pruning on both these guys, keeping it real easy with blueberries and blackberries. Prune these down to around 10 to 12 inches every winter time. All these nice berries that are producing, those are all get produced off of new wood. So don't worry about, there's not really too selective with blackberries and raspberries, just kind of cut them back. Some raspberries like Heritage, you can cut back even more in later summer and get a second crop off of them. They're known as an everbearing raspberry plant. Blueberries, as far as pruning these guys, you don't want to cut these back every winter time. You just want to do a more selective pruning of big long canes. Blueberries will fruit off of second and third year wood. So whatever you trim off the side shoots next year will have the berries on them. All right, well, this year, why don't you consider landscaping with fruits? You'll enjoy the fruits of your labor for many years to come.